I guess we'll call this meeting to order. Stand. Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sure.
We have a roll call, please.
Sure. Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mrs. Minnie?
Here.
Mr. Platzer?
Here.
Mr. Ethel?
Here.
Mrs. Tremblay here.
If somebody would like to entertain a motion to accept our consent agenda for $86,109.10.
I will.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mr. Ethel?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Moving on, citizens wishing to address the board. I see none. I would somebody entertain a motion to approve our agenda.
We have to add resolution number 2015-5-18.1, a resolution to vacate property dedicated for street purposes for John Cuppen. It's been approved by the county, by everyone, and then the Attorney General's office decided that we hadn't approved it, and I couldn't find any record. We had kind of a vague thing somewhere way, way, way back in the minutes, but it wasn't definite enough, so we needed to do it ourselves, according to our attorney.
Do we want to put that as F, under new business?
Sure.
Okay, with that addition,
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Need a second? Support? We have a motion and support to approve our agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Looking up, I don't see Mark, so we'll forget the fire. Building department, Al, you got anything from the building department?
No.
Nothing from the water department. Well, I will say one thing, the water department, we're gonna do some work over in the Mid-Cap Road trailer park. They're gonna change some valves over there. They're having some problems with their, it's not our problem, it's their problem. It's not gonna cost the township any money, but they're gonna put new valves in there, fit over there, because those are the original valves that they had, when they put for air and water. And they're not getting the right readings supposedly on their meter, but it isn't. We had our meters checked, and our meters are fine. So but they need to be able to turn off the valves in order to get it fixed, and they can't turn them off. They're just froze up, so they're going to have to replace them. Library, I
They
don't
would
say.
have closed early, so.
Yeah, well, Jane wasn't here anyway. The only thing I know from the library and the old township hall, we're going to be doing the floors in there this week. We're refinishing the floors in there, and there is a problem with the front door again, and it's worked. You can see that where it won't lock when they just shut it.
The main front door or the
Yeah,
old
so-
town hall?
No, this will be the main door of the library.
And that's a steel door.
Mhm.
It's a steel door, but you can see where it's out on the bottom about that far. When they shut it. What they have to do is
Did
they.
you replace that?
Well, they did some
We've
work
had,
on it.
we've had working done on it at least twice.
Yeah, didn't Matt replace that?
The main door?
No.
You're not
I'm
talking,
talking about the library, not the old town hall.
big double doors.
I'm talking about the metal doors.
The metal doors?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How are those for?
well, go and take a look at them. They're out down at the bottom, they're out about that far.
We need to,
And what you need to do, you need to push it to shut them, to lock them, but
we need to call Mike and ask him to look at it.
Mike,
For his glass.
For
They
your
want to
glass?
put it in originally. I thought you were about the old.
no, it's the metal doors.
The glass would have to be twisted, wouldn't it?
I don't know, it's out probably, I'm gonna say it's out probably
That's probably.
close to a quarter to a half inch. Okay. Unfinished business, rules for the pavilion at the township park.
I tried to keep them as brief as possible, but I have a few things that we kind of followed some of the applications to the old town hall.
Well, our idea for that, for leasing that out, you know, for people that want to have family reunions or something in there, you know, at least they've got it reserved. It's a $50 fee, and we're talking about, with that $50 fee, they also have the the use of the electricity that's there. And we're also, because of the garbage situation, there's no place to put their garbage. The people that lease that, we're going to give them a key to our dumpster. The key to the dumpster and the key to the electricity will be all on the same ring, and they'll be able to take their garbage and put it in the dumpster and then lock it back up. So, unless you've got something else that you want to go over, it's pretty basic to running out the old township hall.
Yes.
So how has it come along? I mean, has it got a number of rentals so
It
far
does.
this summer?
Yes, it
I
does.
think it is. People have
It's really picking up.
reserved it.
They like reserving it because they don't have to camp out there at 6 in the morning to save it for a family reunion. And this way, there's a sign put up there that shows that it's reserved from this time to this time. And again, I'm sorry. What about? Yes. Okay, J, on the last page, thank you. There was a question, I have a question as to whether you want to have someone designated to check on the pavilion after it's been rented. The hard part about that is it could be rented out or leased out, whatever you want to call it, from 1 to 4, and then and they could have it all cleaned up, and someone could come in from 5 to 9 who doesn't have it leased but is there and using it, and they don't clean up. So I don't know how we would work that exactly. Unless we have somebody go check, say if it's leased till 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon or 5.
Well, my thought on that is if we're going to get into having to hire a man to go up there and it's going to be used basically on the weekend, you're going to have to compensate him for that.
Well, yes.
And, then a $50 fee to use that is probably throw it out the window because you're going to have to pay somebody,
Well,
if I was
that's what
going
I
to
was
go up there to
thinking.
check it, I'd want $25, and take my time out in the middle of the afternoon to go up there and take care of it, especially on a weekend, so. I don't know.
I only popped that in there because it was in the Old Town Hall one, and I kind of think we really.
Well, but we have a man that does the whole township hall. We don't have anybody, put away or.
Well, can't we just
on hand.
delete it, and if it becomes a big problem, then we have to
Then we
address
can
it?
address it somehow.
I would think that would be the smart thing to do, because I can see a whole can of worms getting involved here.
Well, I kind of thought so too, but I put it in there to see what you thought.
You want a motion?
Sure.
I'll make a motion to delete J, see what happens.
Well, why don't you make your motion to approve the agreement otherwise?
Okay, well, yeah,
Without.
Yeah.
without J,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, I read it over, I think it's fine.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept the rental application and agreement without J in it. Do we have a second to that? I'll second the motion. Are there any more questions or concerns?
They have that big, the race and barbecue and that movie, is that all done by 10 o'clock?
It should be, Al, that's been the rule forever, that's posted there.
Is it?
Mhm.
That's one a question I have. is-
Yeah, it should be.
And that's a good animal, that's for the township.
They usually
Is
run.
that over by Denmark?
I think so.
It's
you know,
close.
I've never watched it, the people who have it's gone by, so I don't know.
Well, you have to wait till it's almost dark to show the movie, right?
Yeah,
So, you know,
probably after
It's a
10.
kid's
that
story
time-
though.
No, but I mean at that time of night, you know,
Yeah.
you're going on to 10 o'clock before it's dark, so, you know.
That's all.
Any other concerns or questions? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mr. Fletcher?
Yes.
Mr. Breiler?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Motion carries. New business, engineer for the township. Did everybody get that? Okay, what that is, he's not charging us a fee or anything else, he just sent that letter of, whatever he calls it.
Annual agreement.
Annual agreements to, and what's in there is the prices that he charges for such a, you know, if we're doing a road project, or if we're doing this project and stuff like that, he comes up, gives us an estimate, and he doesn't do anything unless it's approved by the board, of course.
So there's no retainer.
And there's no retainer fee on it for him, but it's just a matter of us being able to. And he has all our water things and everything else down there, and it's BMJ and on a courtyard.
Plus the cemetery maps.
Yeah, they've mapped all.
I move to approve it.
We have a motion to approve the contract for the engineer, or not a contract, but
An
an
agreement.
agreement.
I'll second.
That's also a good thing, if, you know, if we need site plan reviews or something, numbers
That's
are
true.
there, pass on.
Yeah.
We used to have it, and
Mhm.
just haven't had it for a few years.
So we have a motion, we have a second by Cindy
Mhm.
to accept the agreement. Is there any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Mr. Breiler?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Fletcher?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay? Yes.
Okay, moving, yeah, but, yeah, I'm not gonna leave him sit.
Yeah, but
I'm just gonna leave him sit back there and just punish him a little bit. Moving on, the St. Clair County Road Commission work orders for Harris Road and State Road.
I move to approve the tracks in it.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the County Road Commission's estimates for crack sealing. Al, Cindy's support. Are there any questions or concerns?
Do we know when the last time we did this?
Those roads have never been crack sealed. Those are the roads that we,
Since they put it
you
down?
know, that we put in 3 years ago.
3 and 2?
3 years ago or 2 years ago. One was 3 years ago and the other was 2 years ago.
Okay.
So. Okay, I guess I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Mr. Breiler?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mr. Fletcher?
Yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Motion carries. See on the agenda is the ham radio field day. We do this every year. We have a date for it.
We do, June
26th
Sixth
to
to
28th.
28th.
And we have no conflicts with our,
No, because they use the interior and they don't make any noise.
oh, no.
They're over by the siren.
They don't, yeah, they don't,
They, okay.
they don't use anything near the pavilion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the ham radio field day.
Support?
We have a motion and support. Any questions or concerns? Hearing none, I'd ask for a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Apple?
Yes?
Mr. Fletcher?
Yes.
Mr. Breiler?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
Okay, moving on, our fire contract with Burtchville Township. Mark, do you care to address that at all, or?
Yeah, I looked at that, and Carolina called me 2 weeks ago. You know, we run about 10 calls up there a year. I looked at it, we're making money, what we're doing, they're paying their bills on time for the most part. You know,
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
since we had that thing and then we got the 120 days in there, I don't see any issues, you know, we're making money off of it, so, you know, it's not a drain on us, it's not.
It's not like we're
It's
wearing
not
our
burdensome, we're not
equipment.
wearing out our equipment, it's, for the 10 calls we do up in that little 4 square mile area a year, I just mentioned with Carolina, obviously the numbers the same, you know, it's,
Okay.
you know, I didn't see any point.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Somebody care to make a motion to that effect?
I will.
I'll second it. That we accept the contract as written, to review. Are there any other questions or concerns?
Mark, when we go up there for lift assist, do we charge them too?
Yes.
So when they felt that,
Yeah,
I guess it wasn't
I just
just-
feel bad, we're up at 2 minutes and charging $200.
I know.
But we have to, that's just the way the contract is wrote up, and we, you know, but, you know, they don't have an ambulance bill like the one the other day, we were there, I'm not kidding, we were there 35 seconds. I picked the old guy up, get him back in bed and say, have a nice day. I feel bad about that, but we don't have any grace built into our stuff on stuff like that, we could say, you know what, just have a nice day, you know, but so, we gotta bill them, and I feel bad about it, but some of those ones you have to.
Yeah, but do you take a piece of equipment out when you?
Yeah, you know, we go to the rescue, you know, non-emergency, 4 guys were there, it's like, well, we got to charge because it costs us, and so, you know, it's one of those ones that fall between the cracks, we do it.
I just wondered if it was something we could look at, you know, maybe down the road, next contract or something, change and
Just on that, just do a limited.
make it, you know,
Yep,
$50 or $75. You may not cover your costs, but
yeah. We did,
That's one thing I feel, you have to cover your costs, and I know it sounds cruel, but your taxpayers are paying a mill.
yeah. And
To
the thing is,
have
we don't know ever, if we're gonna have 3 guys show up or 8 guys show up, and so what we've done is even on this, the last contract we were doing this time is like for a car accident, for a wire's down, instead of charging $800 like we do a structured fire, we reduced it to, I think, $400, or some number, a reduced number. Because it's not like we're pulling out hoses and all that, we go up there and we tape it off and we leave, but it's more than a medical call, so we reduce some of those, like a boating incident. We don't run a bunch of fire engines and tankers and all that stuff, it's usually a couple of rescues in a boat, you know, so we dropped that to $500 for a water rescue. Just, we're not, I don't think we're taking advantage of somebody when the time of need is the problem. There's a balance there, we need to recover our costs. That's why I looked at total, I think we made $2,400 off them last year, from what we paid out from my number of guys, the little bit of fuel and blah, you know, all that stuff, we kind of figure out, I figured we made $2,400. Well, you know, we're not getting rich on it.
Well, it's a
but
service to the
costing us
public, too, let's
nothing.
face it, you know.
And we know as a volunteer department that our training comes on calls, even though we train other times, it's a lot different than making calls. And since we only run 10 calls up for a year, it isn't like, you know, it's really not a burden for us to cover that little area we're covered.
And even though it's just a lift, you get there and something might be even more,
And that does happen sometimes.
you know. And you're there a lot longer or doing more stuff.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept the Worth contract, or, you know, accept the Worth Township contract as written. Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bennett?
yes.
Mr. Apple?
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Platzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie?
Yes.
Mrs. Trimble, yes.
Moving on, contract for maintaining sprinkler system.
I move to approve the contract for Chuck's lawn care. I think it's the same as last year, isn't it?
It's a little bit of an increase,
About $5?
yes.
Support.
$5.
I know.
I was gonna look back, but it wasn't much.
He does a good
I'll
job.
I'll second that motion.
Jody did.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I don't, okay, you go ahead and second.
no question.
I don't think there's much discussion, is there? Over there? Caroline, can we have a roll call, please?
Okay, Mr. Violet,
Yes.
Mr. Flancer,
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie,
Yes,
Mr. Ethel,
Yes.
Mrs. Tremblay, yes. He does a good job.
Okay, next on the agenda will be the street vacation resolution for vacated property dedicated to street purposes.
Well, this project's been going on for quite some time, and I don't know why this wasn't addressed long before this, but as I said, the Attorney General's office contacted Tuma's office, Watson's office, and said that we had to show that we approved this also. And it's a vacating Huron Street from the eastern edge of 4th Street to M25, and 3rd Street from the north edge of Washington to the north edge of Huron Street. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah,
It is
that's
right.
right, yeah, that's right.
Okay.
and it was already done, but they don't think it was. Is that my understanding?
It
Well,
was done in 1978.
Right.
It was
But it was so
79
big,
that it was
right,
done,
but
and
they
there's
don't
no
think that that's-
records of
it
it at
didn't
all.
show in the minutes that they actually approved it, even
Yeah.
though it
Okay.
was in there, so.
I spent days looking at those records, and
Yes.
there was no approval of it.
Okay,
I moved to approve.
I'll
street-
second.
Street vacation resolution 1.
Okay, we have a motion to approve resolution 1. Roll call vote, please.
Wait a minute. Who made the motion?
Al made the motion,
Did-
Cindy seconded.
Thank you.
We don't
Okay,
have to do this again.
what?
Why do they call it resolution 1?
Because it's the first one today, because we don't have a second one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mr. Brylet,
Yes.
Mrs. Minnie,
yes,
Mr. Flatzer,
Yes.
Mr. Ethel,
Yes,
Mrs. Tremblay, yes.
motion carries. You want to sign this?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff for you to sign.
Supervisor's report. I really don't have, well, I guess I could update you on the ballparks. The ballparks are underway, they're gonna be used, they're being mowed. We have a 14-year-old team that actually playing over there on the one diamond, and then Fort Gratiot is using him for Little League games, because they took all our kids down there to the Little League, but they didn't have enough fields to play Little League ball on, so they asked us if we could use ours, and of course. And I did, just to bring you an update, I talked to the superintendent of building structures and stuff. I saw him Friday morning at that emergency management breakfast, and I just kind of keep putting the bug in his ear, our ball fields over here, Doug. I said, I'm worried about our ball fields, or what's going to happen over here. And he said, Mike, I can assure you that Lakeport School is not for sale. That isn't one of the pieces of property in Port Huron Area School District that's for sale. So they're planning right now on keeping it. And then I said to him, I said, well, it'd be very nice, if you guys ever do put that up for sale, that you guys just donate that property to Burtchville Township where the ball fields are. And of course that went over like a lead balloon. But I keep every time I see him, I make that suggestion that, or at least, and I said to him, at least I would expect that you guys would give us first offer on purchasing those ball fields. Of course, right now with no Little League teams, it's kind of tough to probably sell that to the township. But that isn't always going to be. There's going to be another school here someplace, and these kids right now in Little League has designated that the kids that are playing in Fort Gratiot, even though they live in Burtchville Township, can go down there to play. And the same thing with the kids that live north of our line, north of Harris Road, can play up in Croswell. So that's, so there isn't enough. I think they had enough for like team and a half or 2 teams here, which was, when you're going to play each other back and forth 2 times a week for 10 weeks, So,
Susan?
yeah, well, I would have said yes, let them play, But the fields are being used and they're being maintained and mowed. And I talked to the coach of the 14-year-old team, and we're going to work something out. I'm going to call Judy to see about the restrooms, who's going to pay for them. And he said that they do have $1,000 in their Little League account from Burtchville Township. He said they'd be very willing to pay for the restrooms, or
That would be good.
if they needed fields and stuff like that, because the money does belong to Burtchville Township Little League, so And as long as we're using those fields, that, you know, they could spend the money, you know, spend that account down for things that we needed, like for the field. So
Right.
just to bring you an update of, for not having a report, I said too much. Okay, clerk's report.
I think you took care of everything. I don't have anything.
Okay, treasurer, Joey?
I just had two things, articles for the Burtchville briefs. We need to have them by June the 1st, which is a Monday. Unless you don't want Burtchville briefs. Which is fine too.
What's the date?
June 1st.
Is that going in the summer tax bills?
Okay, trustees.
The other thing is,
Oh, I'm sorry.
everybody knows now, Marilyn gave her a 2-week notice, so we'll be looking to replace her.
Okay. Thank you. Cindy, you have a?
Two things. One, the address on the library, the old hall, whatever. I know we have, did we ever see if the numbers are over at Dusty's?
I haven't had time to. I don't know if anybody else does,
I'll check tomorrow.
I think you never know.
but they are over there. They're over there.
I'm sure they're there.
You know, I think that needs to get done. And the changing tables, Jane asked me about that again. In the restroom.
I looked at a couple, but I haven't seen what's wrong with the phone.
We're just gonna put one, right, either in the men's or women's, we're not putting one in both.
I thought we were putting them both. Be politically correct. Put it in the women's and,
And the dad that's there without a,
yeah, we put it in the dad's one, and we're gonna be done with that.
Put it in the hallway.
We're not that expensive.
Okay. Anything
That's
else, Cindy?
that's it.
Yeah?
No, I have nothing else, other than, to go back to Mark's report.
Oh, yeah. Mark, would you care to give us your fire report?
Yeah, sorry about being late. One thing, we had some maintenance issues on our trucks. We spent a few $1,000 to work on the pumps and to put a new radiator in our engine too. So we got a little bit high maintenance for this past month, but everything else is all right. The letters going out into this week for the fire protection stuff, so we're good to go with that. Other than that, we're just plug along. Been hopping with a bunch of weird stuff the last few weeks, it seems like, all new stuff. Summer's here, so it's our boating time of the year for rescues, and so we're all ramped up and ready to go for that. So, and assistant to firefighter grants, they told us back in January that they were going to put them all out, let everybody know in April if they're in or out. Well, they're doing this like they have in the past few years. Every Friday they're giving out another batch of grants, so we're just kind of on hold, you know. So.
Well, let's get them.
Well, yeah.
Keep our fingers
The point was they were going to let everybody know in April. You're in or you're out. We don't know when you're going to get your money, but you're in so you can make plans.
Yeah.
You know, it's the big government, so who knows when that's all going to take place. But every Friday they pass out another batch of awards, and so we're just kind of waiting game.
Would you care to address anything about the meeting they had in Marysville, emergency management? Or?
No, it's, emergency services breakfast, they bring it in because they want people to start, thinking bigger picture. It's not everybody just protecting themselves because nobody has enough stuff and resources anymore to protect their own selves. Everybody has to rely on each other, so there's weird stuff that happens. They talk about, you guys have seen it in Waco, Texas. You've seen a hurricane here and something here and a tornado wipes out the whole place. We all have to rely on each other, and we need to think, what do we do in those instances, and that's what emergency services when they do those breakfasts are. What to do when those great big things you say will never happen, well, not always to us, but we have to at least be somewhat prepared. So, that's what that's all about.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, extended public comment. Does anybody wish to comment?
The cemetery looks really nice.
Well, thank you very much. And it's gonna be cut again on Saturday, so.
Whoever trimmed the shrubs did a great job. The chapel.
It wasn't me, I didn't trim.
The chapel, however, has the bleed through from the foam spray.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Been
gonna,
contracted between.
that's already been contracted already.
Is it gonna be removed and then painted?
I thought we'd leave that on there just for
Yeah.
decoration. No, yeah, they're gonna.
Is that half, is there wood up at the top and then,
Just,
is it all wood?
it's all.
Yeah, it's all
wood on the
it's
outside?
Foam,
Is it gonna be painted anytime soon?
probably in next month or so, probably.
I haven't,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he
You said
knows,
6 to 8
The
weeks.
outside.
yeah, he
It's gonna
said
be
6 to 8
painted?
weeks, so, yeah, I mean, he's already lined up to do it.
Oh,
I
okay.
just don't know
And he
exactly when.
expressed that you can't take that foam off till you're ready to paint it,
Right. Yeah.
so.
So, yeah, they'll do that in the prep work as they get ready to paint. Okay, anybody else? Okay, somebody like to make a motion that we adjourn?
Well,
I'll second.
We have a motion to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned, thank you. Short and sweet.